For my first few years here at Holy Blossom Temple, I would sometimes stumble when reading the names on the Kaddish list because the names were unfamiliar to me. Now, after 26 years with the congregation, I sometimes stumble on the names of the Kaddish list because I do know the people, and I know the stories behind the names, and sometimes I need a moment to remember them. One name you will soon hear will be known to everyone, Benjamin Zed Meisner. Hearing this name will stop you in your wandering thoughts, and saying it might just make me stumble. These are the first High Holy Days without our beloved cantor, Benny Meisner, in the world. While we have many new congregants who did not know Benny personally and only know our High Holy Day melodies sung by cantor David Rosen and cantorial soloist Lindy Rivers, for our longtime congregants and multi-generational families, we still hear a clear echo of Cantor Meisner's voice in many of these High Holy Day notes. My cantorial colleagues and I want to acknowledge this day because we feel it too. Losing Benny is first and foremost a personal loss for his family, and we extend our condolences to them, to Hope, to Tal. I know it isn't easy to be here without him, but I pray that you will find comfort in Benny's sanctuary today. I pray that you will find comfort in knowing that you are surrounded not only by memories of him, but also surrounded by grateful congregants and grateful colleagues who adored him. We are grateful for his many gifts, which he gave in abundance. I hope you will take comfort in knowing that we miss him too. It seems only fitting that our first Yizkor day without Cantor Meisner in the world should begin with memories of him. I wrote my eulogy for Benny on my cell phone on my flight back from France this summer, and I needed the extra 6 hours I gained with the time difference to tap it out with my one finger. In preparation for today, however, I was able to go back through the files of my computer, and I found this that I prepared 6 years ago in anticipation of Cantor Meisner's retirement. It is called The Courage of a Cantor. Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel wrote in an essay entitled The Vocation of the Cantor, there is a story about the Baal Shem Tov, who was once listening most intently to a musician. When his disciples asked him, why is he so absorbed in what he learned, the Baal Shem Tov replied, when a musician plays, he pours out all he has done. Indeed, a cantor standing before the ark reveals all his soul, utters all her secrets. The art of being a cantor involves the depth, richness, and integrity of personal existence. Rabbi Heschel writes, these are the blessings we witnessed over 4 decades of Cantor Meisner's leadership at Holy Blossom Temple. Indeed, every time he took his place on our bima, he poured out all that he had done. He poured out his prayerful melodies, he poured them into us, and our lives are the richer because of it. It takes courage to be the one responsible for the spiritual well-being of so many Jewish souls gathered in prayer. To sing night and day is physically taxing, we know. But to carry the prayers of an entire congregation night and day must also be for the cantor exhilarating and exhausting all at once. A cantor is not a performer, but a shaliach tzibur, the representative of the congregation at prayer. Even when we don't know all the words, even when we don't know the melody, we believe our prayers have a shot at reaching the Almighty because our cantor's prayers are offered up with such sincerity. We can trust that our cantor knows every word and infuses each one with meaning. The Shaliach Tzibur is a mirror for the congregation. When the cantor offers up a sorrowful prayer, we are sorrowful. When the cantor offers a joyful prayer, we are joyful. When the cantor as Shliach Tzibur stirs in us prayers of longing, we may not have even been aware we had within us until we took our seat in that sanctuary. This is how much we depend upon our cantors. It takes more than a voice to be a Shliach Tzibur, I wrote then, with Cantor Meisner in mind. To stand before God with the congregation's prayers in your hands, it takes courage. And in this way, Hechazan Binyamin Ze'ev Halevi was fearless. Cantor Meisner was creative and generous and fearless in the arena of prayer. While he poured out all that he has done for 41 years, we were the beneficiaries. It was my great honor to stand by his side, shoulder to shoulder on this bima for 21 years of his 41 years. He taught us to pray. He taught us to sing the songs of our people across the centuries and across the lands. When Cantor Meisner was in treatment and wasn't able to come by Holy Blossom in person, you may recall that we put out a call to the congregation inviting anyone who wished to make a short video clip to send a birthday message, maybe share a memory, maybe best wishes for a happy birthday. And those short videos were strung together by Cantor Rosen and by our Director of Communications, Deanna Levy. And Cantor Rosen and I went by the Meisner home on that birthday afternoon to deliver the present from the congregation. And he loved watching those videos. The clip that I provided included me singing with my little voice a melody that I knew Cantor Meisner would have known from his childhood. It's set to the words of our Sidur, Ki hem chayenu ve'orach yameinu uvahem nehegeh yomam v'layla. The mitzvot are our life and the length of our days. On them we will meditate day and night. I hope that this little prayer would remind my friend Benny that he had more living to do. And indeed, his face lit up when he heard the video and he turned to me and he said, "How do you know this song?" Because he couldn't imagine that I knew a Jewish song that he didn't teach me. I chose this melody for him because it was simple and joyful. I chose the words for him because they describe the way he lived. A life of mitzvot. He loved this bima, he loved the concerts, he loved the international awards and accolades, he loved his students. That's all true. But only after loving his family. What he loved the most was the life of a Jew. Living a life of mitzvot was his life's work. Making the mitzvot beautiful. That was his life's gift. So as we turn to our Yizkor service, when we reflect on our grief, so that we who survive our beloved dead can live more fully, grateful for the years that we shared and also grateful for the years yet to be lived, I'll conclude with a little story, a beautiful short teaching that I learned from Nehemiah Polin. Rabbi Polin says, imagine a nigun, and Rabbi Polin is an expert in Chassidut. Imagine a nigun, and you know Cantor Meisner loved to schlep out the lailais and the yai by bim bams. There was even a joke one high holidays, the services went on so long, one congregant said to another, and I only know this story because Benny loved to tell it. One congregant said to another, "It's so late because of all those lies. Why did he do all those lies?" And the other congregant answered, "I guess he forgot the words." So Rabbi Polin says, imagine a nigun, a lovely melody without words, just a string of notes, each one attached to the one that came before it, each one attached to the one that comes after it. Rabbi Polin teaches that the middle note turns to the note that came before it to give him a blessing, saying, "Thank you for being so beautiful and for creating an opportunity for me to come along. My sound, my note only works because of you and the path that you forged for me. I will do my very best to create a soulful bridge from you to me." And then that same middle note turns in the other direction to say to the note next in line, to give another blessing to her, saying, "You will be wonderful. I give you my permission to be even more beautiful than I was." So as we turn to Yizkor, and we see the many notes of the nigun strung together, and we see how that middle note blesses the one that came before, we turn to the generations that came before us, to our dear ones who walked this life path before us. We turn to them with a blessing. We say, "Thank you for being so beautiful. Thank you for creating an opportunity for me to come along into this world. My sound, my note, my life only works because of you. And I will do my very best to create a soulful bridge from you to me." We are part of a beautiful chain, the Shalshelet Hadorot, generations strung together, one after another after another. Our memorial prayers honor that chain and gives us opportunity to give blessing to the generation that came before.